When it comes to what's happening in the housing market, there is a lot of confusion. You may hear one thing in conversation with your friends and something totally different on the news, and read something on social media that completely contradicts both of those thoughts. If you've been thinking about buying or selling, you may be left with questions that are keeping you from acting in pursuit of your real estate goals. So let's take a look at the top 3 questions people are asking about today's housing market and dive into our local market data to help answer these questions. Number 1, what's next for mortgage rates? There is a long-standing relationship between mortgage rates and inflation. When inflation is high, mortgage rates tend to follow suit. Over the past year, inflation has been up, so mortgage rates were as well. But inflation is easing now, and this is why the Federal Reserve has recently paused their federal funds rate hikes, which means many experts believe mortgage rates will begin to come down. We've started to see hints of slight lower mortgage rates in recent weeks, but it's certainly been volatile and will likely continue to be that way. The economy is hot, and we continue to bounce around in rates between 6.5% to 8%. And as we all remember, we hit 8% back in October, not that long ago. This is a big deal because when we went from 7 to 8%, 5 million borrowers and potential buyers across the United States could no longer afford a home. But when it went back from 8% down to 7%, now those 5 million buyers can enter back into the marketplace. As interest rates continue to fall, it will open up a floodgate of potential buyers. This will cause increasing demand and encourage more homeowners to also put their homes on the market for sale. Which leads me to question number 2. Where are home prices headed? To help show just how confident experts are in this continued appreciation, take a look at this. It's a survey of a national panel of over 100 economists, real estate experts, and investment and market strategists. As the graph below shows, the consensus is that prices will keep climbing. There are 2 major factors that support home appreciation: a strong economy and low supply. Let's first talk about the economy. Despite the fact that projections show that more people will lose their jobs in the upcoming year, the unemployment rate is currently near all-time lows. In this chart, we see the unemployment projections over the next 5 years. Job losses of any kind are devastating. However, the question here is, will there be enough job losses to cause a wave of foreclosures that will crash the housing market? The answer is no. That's because, like I mentioned before, the unemployment rate is currently near all-time lows. As you can see in this chart, the orange bar shows the average unemployment rate dating back to 1948 was 5.7%. The red bar shows the last time the housing market crashed. In the immediate aftermath of 2008 financial crisis, the average unemployment rate was up to 8.3%. Both of those bars are much higher than the unemployment rate today shown in the blue bar. Moving forward, projections show the unemployment rate is likely to stay beneath the 75-year average. And that means we won't see a wave of foreclosures that would severely impact the housing market. A lack of foreclosures and less homeowners placing their homes on the market will continue to keep the housing market supply low, and low supply will keep home prices appreciating. These anemic inventory levels we continue to see both nationally and locally can be related back to the trend of kicking back. Take a look at this. Currently, 85% of homeowners in California are sitting on a 5% or lower interest rate. 69% have a 4% or lower interest rate, and 30% have an interest rate as low or even lower than 3%. 40% of all homeowners in California have no mortgage. Their homes are free and clear. So these percentages are of the remaining 60% of homes that actually do have mortgages. Whether it's because they purchased their home or refinanced during COVID when interest rates were at record lows, many homeowners are just kicking back and enjoying their low interest rates. These homeowners most likely are not willing to give up their cushy low interest rate for a high 7 to 8% rate, and we should continue to expect less homeowners to put their homes on the market until interest rates stabilize at a lower rate. Inventory levels in Southern California are still extremely low, lower than we have seen before prior to COVID. This goes all the way back since tracking began for all of Southern California in 2012. So that brings us to question number 3. Is a recession around the corner? While recession talk has been a common thing over the past few years, there's good news on that front. Looking at the chart from the Wall Street Journal, as experts look at all the leading indicators today, they're changing their minds and saying a recession is getting less and less likely. As you can see by the chart, these latest results show that more experts now think we're not headed for another recession anytime soon. With mortgage rates expected to stabilize at a lower rate, the economy to remain strong with no expected spikes in the unemployment rate, inventory expected to remain low, and demand slightly increasing, today's housing market data continues to support there's no crash on the horizon. If you've been thinking about buying in 2024 and have questions about what you are hearing in the real estate market, reach out to us. Let's set you up for success. Look forward to hearing from you.